All right, what's happening, everybody? What's happening? I am Dr. Thunder. This is Two Dads React, and that's my collaboration with Tony from God Rules and from Sail Daddy, from Sons of Thunder. And we've been friends, best friends since fifth grade. Met in the library. The definition of educated lames. We're two dads. We're lame. I just took off my tinfoil hat and put it under my desk here. I never wear it on air. I just wear it between shows. It's important because you want to be able to tune in, tune the various frequencies. And it turns out that the tuning in is, it's been working because we've got these aliens or Nephilim or something at a Miami mall. So I guess the tinfoil has been working. Anyhow, like, share, comment, subscribe, become a channel member where you'll get access to all archive videos. Super chats enabled. Super thanks for the replay gang. Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Dr. Thunder Music, all one word. Spell out the word doctor. Support independent media. Independent media. And we have quite a show for you today. We'll also be talking a little bit about this Cat Williams business. He's sort of has been saying some things that, telling some secrets about the Hollyweird Club. We may be talking about some tunnels, some certain kind of tunnels, small hat tunnels maybe. I don't want to say too much. And what else are we going to be talking about? We're going to be talking about Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh. They're kind of teasing a bit about this whole Miami Mall business. So we'll see. I don't know. I think my tinfoil hat's been working. Tuning in Tokyo or something. Well, I don't know. Beyond Tokyo. Tuning in beyond the stars. But anyhow, we're going to have a good show for you today. We'll have a good time as usual. We'll keep it light, but we'll also be reporting on the end of the world. That's kind of how this show goes, laughing our way all the way until the end of days. So anyhow, that's just to give you a brief glimpse of what's in for your journey today, if this is your first time. But please like the video, share the video, and support the show. Make sure you like the video. Liking the video is very important. Very, very important. I see some folks in the chat. Thanks for being here. Without further ado, Two Dads React. Aliens at a Miami mall? Let's go.
Warning: some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Man, I almost didn't make it back.
Aliens almost get you.
Aliens were trying to abduct me, but I
It
made it back.
It wasn't anybody from some tunnels underneath your house.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I hate
How
when
are you
people
doing,
dig
man?
under my house, and like I'm in the basement. I can just hear them knocking on the walls, once in a while.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Oh, God, dude.
Yeah. It just
It's
a bigger
completely
hat would give
normal
you
in
a bigger
2024,
hat would
man.
give you more coverage.
Yeah. Our tinfoil hats
Anyhow,
are
okay.
not big enough anymore. Our tinfoil hats are not big enough. Not
Yeah,
covering enough area.
something. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. We've got a variety of topics to cover. Let's see here. Let me jump right in with this because I had planned on perhaps covering this yesterday. Not yesterday, last week. We didn't end up doing a show, but we were going to more or less take a look at this business with Cat Williams,
Oh,
who
yeah.
has been sort of sounding the alarm. He's been telling some trade secrets, the inside scoop, and a lot of folks are pretty perturbed with him. He's being sort of lauded as, in the same sort of respect as Dave Chappelle. Dave, who has refused to sort of play certain games and basically built his empire outside of the structure. So he basically could not be canceled. Same thing that Cat has basically done his whole career, and he was refused to sort of bend the knee, get the chapstick out, pucker up, none of that. But now he is sort of telling all, but I think it's important to understand that his reason for telling a lot of this stuff is because people were, based on his own words, that people were saying stuff that was not true. They were saying stuff about him that was not true, and so he was not willing to allow that to stand. And so this means that he's, going to say some things that, hey, you talked about me, now I got to tell you your stuff. And I didn't know this either, but apparently Cat Williams is Jehovah's Witness. He's a Jehovah's Witness, so he has some sort of, he's got some sort of, and you listen to him talk. Now that I know that, some of the things that he says makes more sense, because he really has this sort of hyper, it's for God or for the devil. I mean, and all of that stuff is good, actually. I mean, being able to point out what the motivations are. But anyhow, let's go ahead and play this and then maybe talk a little bit about it. Here we go.
Williams tells Guy Torrey did a beautiful special about the Comedy Store and Fat Tuesday, where he said that Steve and Cedric and Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish came through there and made... All lies. Steve and Cedric never performed at the Comedy Store at all. Tiffany was only seen at the Laugh Factory. In 15 years in Hollywood, no one in Hollywood has a memory of going to a sold-out Kevin Hart show, there being a line for him ever getting a standing ovation at any comedy club. He already had his deals when he got here. Have we heard of a comedian that came to L.A. and in his first year in L.A. he had his own sitcom on network television and had his own movie called Soul Plane that he was leading? No, we've never heard of that before that person or since that person. What do you think a plant is? Maybe people don't understand the definitions of these words. He just did his documentary with Chris Rock where he shows you that his whole upbringing in comedy was on the East Coast.
Yeah, it was.
So how simultaneously was he here in Los Angeles doing the same thing? It didn't happen. It didn't happen. And I hate to seem like a petty individual for picking apart lies, but Jussie Smollett gonna keep lying until you say we don't believe you. Like, it's important in the checks and balances of the universe that liars not get to make complete narratives for themselves.
Are you not afraid about being blackballed again? These are some power people.
What do you mean again? These people are not powerful. Satan can't create anything. That includes blessings for his people. That's why, do you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is?
What?
Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white and been in comedy for 25 years? If what I say ain't the case. It's a cabal. It's a consortium. They rock with who they rock with and they don't with who they don't. But I'm not scared of being the competition any more than you were when you lined up across from a superior team. Yeah, on paper, they're a better team.
Right.
They have all the assets and resources and we don't. But let us get on the line, boy, and see if that factors in. I guarantee you it won't.
Wow.
Because Shannon Sharp got to be a different person than that other person.
Absolutely.
And he always will.
That was interesting.
So what do you think, man?
Yeah, I think that's like this with Hollywood, that you have to get into the club to be able to do certain things and go certain places. Some people on the outside are able to do it, outliers like Cat Williams. And I mean, you have also famous actors and stuff that are able to get good parts in movies. But, you know, I'm thinking of like Jim Caviezel, like he's been blackballed ever since he played Jesus. And he played that recent movie, Sound of Freedom, but they tried to hold that on the back shelf for 5 years.
Right.
So they don't want stuff like that, even if it's a total hit. They don't want it to come out because they didn't play the game. They didn't get involved like they're supposed to, right? And there's a lot of other people too that have been outliers. I don't want to name a bunch of names, but there's a lot of people.
You know, in my I've got a morning series called Rolling Thunder, and it's 8:30 a.m. show Monday to Friday. And I covered Candace Owens, and she was basically talking about this woman that painted her legs like leggings with leg paint, and then went to the gym. Basically, she's like butt naked. Turns out that she actually had a thong on.
Oh,
and this was for attention, right?
Right. Yeah.
And in relationship to that, she was also talking about this Epstein list. And so if people don't know this already, if you don't know this already, the real Epstein list is the blackmail list. And Epstein actually is an asset of the feds, and he was being used to get dirt on a bunch of people by having them come to this island with these underage girls, basically. That's basically what was happening. And so the blackmail list will never be released. And everybody is talking about how, they're about to blow the top off of this thing. Well, they released some information, but it was nothing that wasn't already known. Right. And they did not release the blackmail list, and they never will, because if they release the list, then the government will not be able to really take advantage of the blackmail, right? It'll be too obvious what's going on. So it's never going to happen.
Things going on this year, man. This year is crazy. I kind of feel like I really feel like it all started when that movie Sound of Freedom came out. I feel like that's when Hollywood went on strike. You had all these weird things going on with actors and actresses. Now you have P. Diddy and all these guys being shown for what they've done. And you got T.D. Jakes. Yep. Then you got Cat Williams coming out talking about stuff. Then you got these underground tunnels, which now people are asking about that. What in the hell is this thing? And then, of course, I just heard something about this Miami Mall alien thing that may actually be related to this. That, okay, there's this other there was this other abduction or this other alien thing that happened in Peru, this village in Peru. It was a Peruvian village where essentially these beings that were on like some sort of hoverboards, and not really hoverboards, but they were just floating somehow, and they're able to travel really fast. They had a lot of advanced technology, and they were going into this village, and they tried to take, of course, people, and then they went back to their craft and left because they weren't able to do it. And what I heard this weird thing from, have you ever heard of Ryan Upchurch? He's a sort of like a country rap musician guy. He's like he's sort of independent. He's on YouTube. Have you ever heard of him?
Maybe. I'm not sure.
He's one of these like country / rap dudes. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Total backwoods dude. Okay. But he had a really weird take on the Miami Mall thing. He said, "Did you ever notice everywhere you see them having UFO sightings, it's always near the ocean. It's usually either Texas, California, or Florida, where they see unidentified objects. And it's always near the ocean." And he said, you'll also notice these 3 states are where the most people are, of course, taken. We're not talking about aliens taken, but other people, just random people taking other people, are in the exact same states. And what if they use vehicles to go in from the ocean to get someone and come back out? And same with this Peruvian village. They can go in and they can jump right back out to the ocean where no one can get them. If they have this advanced technology, could they have gotten this advanced technology from aliens, and now they're just using it for whatever means they want to use it for? They, reverse engineered this technology. I used to be a mechanical engineer. Reverse engineer the technology, take advantage of it, use it for whatever you want, make it look like it's aliens when it's actually humans driving these things around. And of course, then the GOV last year comes out and said, "Oh, look, they're real. Aliens are real." So then they could be the ones literally driving these around. It could be our GOV driving around. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying this is true, but it is weird how they take people, these aliens, right? And it seems so weird. It's in the exact same area that all these other people are taken. Exact same states, the same 3 states. And this is what he said. I thought it was kind of a weird take on it, but I was like, you know what? That actually sounds kind of like interesting in a way. It seems kind of, I don't know. I don't know if there's something there, if it's just some weird take on it or what. I guess it could be completely not true, but it just seemed to be coincidental. All this stuff happens in the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird. Well, we got tunnels underneath New York City, and that's not exactly normal either. But I don't know. Everything this year is not normal, so I don't know what to. I'm trying to make sense of a crazy, unreal world that we live in, though.
So everybody, we've got 72 people watching, but only 11 likes. If you're in here and you're watching, there's no reason not to like the video. It's easy to like the video. Hit that like button. Like the video. Share the video. Support the show. Like the video. Please like the video. Thank you. So anyhow, I switched to your screen. I don't know if you have something here you want to talk about.
Well, I actually, what was interesting is when I covered the Miami Mall alien thing, I mentioned that there was a video that everybody was claiming that this was an alien right here walking around. And I showed I found the highest resolution video I could. And I showed it's actually 3 people walking around. And I was saying this before everybody else. Everybody else was saying, "Oh, it's the alien in front of the cops or something." And I was like, this is not what it is. It's just 3 people walking. And of course I said, I don't believe the cops saw anything because they came there after the fact, but there was 200 plus cops there. And actually, from what I hear, it might've been more than 200. I mean, and they claim it was for arresting 4 teens with fireworks, which makes literally no sense. Clearly something bigger happened there. They don't want us to know what it was. And of course, there's a lot of weird stories coming out that something was chasing people. And this is why everybody's panicking and leaving the mall. Now, so I also did some investigation beforehand, and I realized there was no airports that were closed. I pointed that out. I was correct about that as well. What's interesting is they didn't mention that there was no power outages. There were, and I said there were. There were 61,000 homes that had no power. Now, what's interesting is some of the comments I saw, people were saying that when they one guy mentioned that when he had saw a UFO, he got kind of close to it with his car, and his car, as soon as the thing took off, his car turned off and his phone turned off. So some say that this technology, these ships can actually, when they leave, they actually affect everything around it and can turn the power off in an area. So perhaps there was something that flew out and that's what caused the power to go out. I don't know. But that's something interesting to think about as well. Or it could be also, some were saying that there was some sort of electromagnetic thing that was turned on in the mall. That was another thing someone said. And there's actually videos kind of showing some weird thing glowing and kind of fluctuating in the video, which means perhaps there was some weird thing going on there. And there was actually something like that happened in a mall in China. And the way these people reacted in this is very strange. Maybe you can play it because you have a TikTok. I can send you the link, but this is really interesting video. Now, I don't think you can't really say that what the way they react in this video is fake, because they react very naturally to something like really strange happening in front of them. Like they're stumbling over their own feet. They're falling out of their chair. Now, the question is this a real video? Otherwise, like, is this thing in front here real? I don't know if this is real, but I can tell you it's not a normal thing. It's not a person fighting. It's not Timmy dropping his ice cream cone. Something really strange happened here in this video. I don't know if you want to play it real quick. You can play it. I don't know if it has I don't think it has any audio, so you can turn the audio off when you play it. I don't think it matters. But
okay,
you'll see how the people are.
All right, let me head over.
Yeah, I had a cold like a week ago. That was fun.
Okay, here we go. Let's try this.
You gotta back it up. You gotta back it up. You can turn off the audio. It's just some music. May have a copyright on it. I wouldn't play the music.
Okay.
Yeah, just play it from the beginning. See how the people react? Like there's people falling over and stuff. Like they're freaking out, man. That's not like someone fighting. And why is this one guy got a camera? Like, oh, what is this? And he's like taking a camera of it, trying to walk up, and then something disappeared. Obviously, he's trying to figure out what that was that he was. So you got the one guy standing there with the camera while everybody else is running off. Like they're trying to like touch what was there, and they can't figure out what happened. So obviously, it's not something normal. And this is what some said happened at this Miami mall. This is something very similar, and something stepped out. This is what they claim. Right. I'm not saying this is true, but what I can tell you is it clearly wasn't a bunch of like 5 teenagers or 20 teenagers with fireworks that would prompt over 200 cops to show up at a mall. That's beyond ridiculous. Whatever it was something big. Now, I know there's a lot of people making fun of it. I'm guessing that's what he does. He's like, oh, it's not aliens. It doesn't matter if it was aliens. The fact is they're not telling us what it was. That's the point. Right. They're not telling us what happened there. And of course, they've told us the aliens exist, so why can't it be? You know what I mean? Like whatever. So go ahead, right. Man. You want to play that?
Yeah. I could play. Let's see here. Let's play some of this.
In Miami, at a shopping mall, a giant creature, either an alien or one of the Nephilim, or I guess it could be something else, Bigfoot, or just a really tall, hairy guy, or so. Anyway, something was there, and there were a lot of cops, allegedly, and a bunch of people ran out screaming. And so, to help us analyze this really, really important story, we bring on Daily Wire's chief alien correspondent, Matt Walsh. Matt, can you take us through what's happening here?
Yeah, well, it's just like you. I woke this morning and I saw 2 things trending on Twitter. I saw aliens and I saw Miami Mall were the 2 things that were trending. And so I immediately knew that there are aliens at a Miami Mall, and that is exactly what has happened. So apparently, well, there's as always, there's the official story and then what really happened. Mm-hmm. So the official story is that there was some sort of fight at this mall in Miami, and a bunch of cops showed up to break up the fight. Now, when I heard that, I said to myself, that can't, a fight at a mall?
It's never happened.
That in Miami of all places? Yeah. Are you kidding me? And so I said, that's not, no, something's wrong here. And then I dug a little bit deeper and I found that no, there are these stories about aliens. Now, the corporate media, the lib media is not reporting on the alien aspect at all. What you have to do is you have to go to the journalists on TikTok, which I don't know if you've done, Michael, but I've spent a lot of time this morning. In fact, I was supposed to be prepping for my own show, and for most of the time I was just watching TikTok videos about these aliens. And what they're claiming is it was not just one, but it was in fact a group of aliens between 8 and 10 feet tall that were at this mall, and then people fled, and the aliens could still be at the mall right now. I don't know where they are at the moment, but
so we know not to trust the lamestream drive-by corporate media. They're not going to give us the truth. We all know that. Obviously, people on Twitter with lots of esoteric names and numbers in their accounts with like 3 to 20 followers are certainly much more trustworthy. Do we have any idea what the aliens were doing at the mall?
I don't think we know for sure, but I think it's not hard to imagine what they might be doing. I know a lot of people were skeptical about this because they said, well, you came all this way and the first thing you do is you stop at a mall in Miami. But I can absolutely see why. I mean, if you think about it, I don't know where they came from, but they've probably been in a spaceship for like thousands of years. And so they land the spaceship and they're like, well, they got to stretch their legs, first of all. And they need to get some supplies. They got to get some toiletries. I know you probably had the same thing where you go on a long trip with your family and you get to wherever you're going. And as soon as you park, one of your kids is like, oh, I forgot my jacket, or I don't have a shoe. And so then what do you have to do? You have to find.
All right, so we get the idea. They're just like making fun of it, basically.
Yeah, who knows, man? Maybe they went across the Mexican border and got some free money and free an ID and stuff. Maybe they got some credit cards. I mean, maybe they came through with all the other guys. I actually just read that, and I thought it was kind of funny how he said allegedly there was cops there, but he didn't say allegedly with the creatures.
Right.
What's kind of funny is he didn't mention the fact that there was over 200 cops, and that doesn't make any sense that there would be 200 cops to break up a 20 teenagers fighting with fireworks.
Right.
That makes total sense. I mean, when's the last time you needed 200 cops to screw in a light bulb? 200 cops to stop 20 teens. I mean, give me a break. So, but I mean, the funny part was, who knows? Maybe they were humans. Maybe they were just messing with them. Maybe it was a hologram. Who knows what it was? But with the way things are these days, you never know what it is. And who knows? Maybe Matt Walsh is an alien. We don't know. I mean, maybe he's just standing up for them, and making sure that no one thinks it's serious.
Yeah. Like, share, and support, please, folks. Thank you.
I mean, that beard. Come on, man. That beard doesn't look real. He must be alien. That haircut on Michael Nose does not look real. It looks alien to me.
And real quick, let me acknowledge the super chatter. Thank you very much, Big Elvis, the chef, Rosenberg, and saying, I heard that if you reverse the latitude and longitude of that mall, it leads you straight to Antarctica.
Maybe it was a portal from Antarctica. We don't know these days. You never know. We never know what's going on anymore.
That's right.
Maybe it's just them testing.
Or maybe it leads you straight to the tunnels
under New York, right?
Right.
Oh my goodness.
All right. So anyhow,
good stuff.
Let's see here. I got something here. Let me.
All right. I got other stuff too, but you go ahead, man. You got
okay. Let me do one other thing I've got right here.
Aliens and tunnels, man. Aliens and tunnels.
Well, this is more of sort of heckling. Well, I don't know if this is really heckling. This actually. Okay, this is on the news. Okay, so we can't claim that the lamestream media didn't cover it at all. So here we go.
It involves talk of alien sightings at Bayside Marketplace. On New Year's Day, there was a massive police response in downtown Miami. More than 50 young people armed with sticks began fighting. Police say juveniles were also setting off fireworks, causing chaos.
So now people are posting online saying that police weren't there to handle a group of rowdy teens, but rather 8 to 10 feet tall shadowy aliens. Conspiracy theories are saying a big creature could be seen standing in front of the entrance to the shopping area, Bayside. Today, the phrases Miami Mall and aliens of Miami have been among the top 10 searches on Twitter's trending tab. Twitter, of course, now called X. And Google News even has several reports questioning the event.
So we reached out to the Miami Police Department. They issued a statement saying in part, quote, there were no aliens, UFOs, or ETs. No airports were closed, no power outages. Facepalm emoji was included in the statement.
Okay, goodness.
So notice they said, and actually, I think that was the one that Ryan Upchurch played. I think it might have been that one. It actually showed teens, and it said they had sticks, but there was no sticks. There was no fireworks. There was no sticks. And actually, I think the video was from like a week before or a month before, because Miami has a lot of fights at malls, apparently.
Right.
So it's funny. They say all these things on the media. They say it was a giant creature when that video has been debunked. And I debunked it myself. I'm like, dude, it's just three people walking around. It's like they want you to put out fake videos on this so then they can do the layup. Oh, look, see? Oh, look, see, we debunked it. Oh, look, the cops debunked it. I mean, give me a break, dude. So why did you all show up there? How about you ask them that question? Why is there 200 cops to screw in a light bulb, dude? Doesn't make any sense. Why are you got 200 cops there? It's ridiculous to have 200 cops show up for a mall fight. You know what I mean? So I think there's more going on here than that. It just doesn't make any. That's the whole point that why we all covered this. And of course, there are a lot of really strange stories that have been discussed as a result of this. There's a lot of people that came out and said they were there and they saw these creatures or whatever they were. But one of the guys that said he saw it said it would disappear and reappear closer. If it can disappear of its own volition, why is it going to? Hey, cops, I'm right here. Why is it got to do that? You can just disappear. Apparently, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just kind of funny. The whole thing's funny to me. And I don't think we'll ever know the truth of what really happened there because they don't want us to know. But I mean, that's 2024 for you folks. We got people in tunnels. We got aliens at malls, and we got like a new list coming out that doesn't tell us anything. Like you said, instead of it's not the blackmail list, it's a different list. And it's like every time we turn around, you got Cat Williams telling us all that stuff as well. It's just like every time you turn around, you got this crazy story coming out this year.
Okay, let me acknowledge a couple super chats and thank you for those that have liked the video. Please consider liking the video. That's very important. It pushes the video into the algorithm. Like, share, support. And we've got two more supporters. Andre 416 Reformed saying the tunnels are only for the chosen people. All right. And then let's see here. We've got Big Elvis again saying Werner von Braun said this was going to happen.
Yeah. Who was that? I'm trying to remember that. That name sounds very familiar. Wasn't he one of the guys in the von Braun? Yeah. He's an aerospace engineer. That's who I thought it was. Yeah. Was he from Germany? Was he one of the German? Yeah. Okay. All right. This is who I thought it was. It's one of the. Okay. So they had an operation, paperclip. I don't know if you know about this, where they took a bunch of defeated World War II guys from Germany into our space program. There's actually a video that just came out. I haven't had a chance to look into it, but apparently there's a lot of religious and ritual type of stuff involved in the terminology they use for all of our space missions. And it all relates to specific things with regards to religion. And so they're actually saying it could be some sort of rituals being done while they do these space program stuff. I don't know. But it's interesting. The alien thing has been programmed into us through sci-fi movies since, the 80s or before that, right? And what's interesting is one of these, the guy that started Jet Propulsion Laboratories, what's his name? I'm trying to remember his name. Jet Propulsion Laboratories founder. What is that dude's name? Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons, he was part of a religion that was doing these weird rituals, and he did it just before. Okay, that whole Roswell thing? That happened exactly after he did some weird ritual in the desert. I covered that on video. It just seems so weird how the occult seems to be very much tied into this thing with aliens. And so there is a lot to be said about that. There's a lot of people don't understand how there's a direct connection with that. I mean, he's the guy that founded Jet Propulsion Laboratories, Jack Parsons, and he was part of one of these like uh I mean, like it was like something to the god Set, the Egyptian. It was like one of those ancient Egyptian things. And so they're like into this weird Egyptian magic and stuff like that. Strange things, but yeah, so that's Jet Propulsion Laboratories. He was talking about I have it, where to go. He was talking about this guy Werner right here, who is again he was imported from World War II defeated guys. So I'm gonna probably do a video on that eventually, but it just seems very interesting that our GOV last year came out saying, yeah, they're real. UFOs are real, folks. Why are they telling us right now? Because there's something potentially coming? Is that why they're telling us right now? Is this like the first test run with the mall, is just to see what people will think, or make fun of it or whatever it is? Could be completely fake. Who knows?
I think also that any of the stuff that's happening within a year and a half and maybe 2 years of a presidential election.
Oh yeah,
there's high likelihood that there's some kind of weird angle that you don't even know how to think about. That could be at play.
Dude, you should read that. Did you see this? This is hilarious. This is from a video gamers streamer's channel. Asmongold. I think Elon Musk actually follows this guy, but okay, so this guy tweeted this back in November of last year. Their small hats are living under my apartment. I hear them. It's like they're digging or something. For the record, I live at ground level and we do not have a basement. Can you imagine that, dude? You can hear people underneath your house. So funny, dude. Like I hear them underneath my house. Digging around, making noises, man. Like, what's going on here, dude?
Is it Arizona? Is it Arizona that most of the houses don't have basements? Because we grew up in the Midwest and like pretty much like all the houses have basements, but
near the ocean especially, they're not going to have a basement. But yeah, I mean, anywhere that's like sea level, probably not going to have a basement because of the water table or something. But yeah. I have a basement. I'm in it right now, but I don't hear anybody in the walls right now, so I think I'm good. But it's just such a funny story. They were actually like rioting in this place. They were like fighting the police. I'm like, what is up with these people? Like, what is this? And it was going to a museum for younger people museum. And I'm like, okay, why is it going to that place? What are you guys doing? It's kind of weird. And they found like a high chair in this little weird crevice, like underground, whatever this place was. Why would you need a high chair underneath the ground in tunnels? That's just really strange. What are you doing down there, dude? Do I even want to know what you're doing down there? Do I want to know? I don't know if I even want to know. Is this part of your religion? We got a lot of weird religious stuff going on these days. I don't know what's going on here, folks. So,
all right, okay. So here, let's jump back over here.
All right, what do you got?
So this is still talking about this same thing. It's pretty short though, and then I've got one that we're talking about different topics.
If you haven't heard what's been going on in Miami, Florida, you've probably been living under a rock. Multiple reports say that the police were called in for a fight, but other reports are saying something very different. Many people reported they saw 7 to 10 foot creatures all over Miami that night. The Bible says that we do not fight against flesh and blood, but spiritual wickedness in high places, and many supernatural things are going to happen this year. The truth will be exposed. Comment below, the truth will be exposed, and click follow, subscribe right now.
Wow.
All right. Great. So
I learned a lot. I learned a lot from that video, by the way. I learned a ton.
Right.
I'm smarter now. So That wasn't for clicks or views or getting subscriptions, of course. No way.
Not at all. Here, one more. Big Elvis is in here supporting today. He says, Werner von Braun said U.S. will plan fake invasion by 2025.
Did he really say that? Interesting. I think I heard that before. I think someone, yeah, I've heard some, I've read so many things. I think I heard that one before, but I forgot about it. Yeah, well, that's interesting because we're in 2024 and it seems like they're getting ready for something, isn't it? That is kind of interesting. I do feel like, like I used to talk about the moon, of course, landing and all that stuff back in the old days. And you can actually prove using the stereoscopic method, which is a scientific method, that the footage they showed us was not real. Like they say it's a mile away, the hill behind them's a mile away. You can actually use the stereoscopic method and show that it's only a few hundred feet away, or no, a few hundred yards away. And so there's clearly something that's going on with that footage. Whether or not they may have went there and then saw something they didn't want us to see, or perhaps they couldn't land on it, or whatever happened. I think the footage they actually showed it, because they actually say now, if you ask them about it, they said they lost the footage and then they can't recreate it and they can't go back. So like, why can't you go back, dude? It's 50 years later. I think you should be able to do it by now. You could do it before. I'm not saying, I know exactly what's all going on, but I do feel like at least half of what they claim they do is not real. And these guys were part of the bad guys in World War II. We're talking Germany, and they were doing that kind of stuff. They were doing experiments to mess with people to see what they can get them to believe. So a lot of these guys that got into our space program were not designed for, not all of them were rocket engineers. Some of them were like how can you mess with, the mind and stuff like that. Some of those guys got in there as well. Maybe to make us believe whatever, who knows? I don't know, man. So you got some of that as well going on, but.
All right, here we go. Congratulations and thank you very much. The very first super chat to this channel from William Vertreese is just a blank super chat. Thank you very much for that. And then another $2 super chat, a blank super chat. Thank you very much for the support. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so I've got what am I doing? No, not that. Okay, wait a minute. Here we go. Here it is. Okay, so I've got this right here. All right, let's see what this is about. Okay, this is actually the same.
Happened in Miami? Well, people think aliens are involved. So around 9:30 p.m. on January 1st, over 60 police cars, 100 officers, and a few helicopters swarmed the Bayside Mall in downtown Miami and shut it down. The official story is that a brawl broke out between a large group of teenagers who were fighting each other with sticks and throwing fireworks. 4 teenagers wound up getting arrested, but people are wondering why was such a massive police presence needed for only arresting some kids. Some are starting to think that something else was going on. Since the incident, eyewitnesses have claimed that the brawl was a cover, and the truth is that 7 to 10 foot tall alien creatures showed up at the mall. People panicked and ran as the aliens apparently began attacking and cloaking like the Predator. Some interesting details are that the power was cut and restricted airspace was established above the mall, as well as the police scanner being shut down. And earlier today, a new video surfaced showing what appeared to be a strange figure moving around the area that people think was one of these aliens, although it's more likely just a couple people walking next to each other. Others have reported seeing black helicopters and a Men in Black presence as well, and other witnesses like this guy here are claiming there weren't even teens fighting at all, and this is some kind of cover-up, and posted an 11 picture of one of these aliens. So is this a brawl, aliens, or something else?
Something else.
Well, the police, yeah. The police claim that there was no power outages, but that's not true. There was I actually saw the evidence. There's 60,000 houses without power in that area. So I don't believe what they said on that. But I don't think the airports were shut down or anything like that. And like I said, that was just 3 people walking. I don't think they saw anything. I don't think the cops really saw anything. But why is there 200 plus cops there? That's just ridiculous.
Right.
At any rate, I think we've beaten this dead horse because I don't know much
we said
I've
enough
actually
about
covered
that.
some other stuff on my videos about it where they actually have this strange glowing. I don't know if you saw that or not, but but it's a very grainy video. And there's a bunch of other videos as well. If you want to go check out more details on that, I can show that. Go check out my channel. I got some videos up on that.
Yeah.
But I actually wanted to show you this. This is grainy too, but
Yeah,
this is
yeah. One second, real quick. Let me just acknowledge the super chat. Thank you, Andre 416 Reforms, showing supports to the PhDs and contributors. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you. Let's see here. Let's remove that. Okay, and let's get over to you. Wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Okay, there you are.
So this was a story that happened at the tail end of last year. There's a guy named Timothy Albarino. He's sort of an investigator. He's actually originally from Peru. I mentioned about this Peruvian village. There was this lady that there was a very strange story that came out, and they've actually been since then, even until now, they have 24/7 armed guys around the village, and they even cut down a ton of trees in front of all around the village just so they can see something coming towards it. So if there was nothing going on, they wouldn't be wasting all their time doing all that stuff. He actually went there to get eyewitness testimony and get any evidence that they could find. And this right here is showing, again, this isn't the best quality. I think it's zoomed in and it's at nighttime, but this is the top of the building right here. And this is actually the being, and it's actually floating above the building. And you're able to get some light on it. Again, you can't really see it too well because it's at nighttime and it's zoomed in. And again, this is a village in the middle of the forest. This is like in the middle of nowhere. So probably don't have exactly the latest iPhone or something, but they said it was some very strange futuristic creatures that could hover and go very quickly around, and they're trying to get people. I actually think it's just humans doing this. I feel like it might be humans or something. Like I feel like we're involved, like our GOV or some group is involved that's going around using these things, just doing stuff, like taking, of course, people and stuff. That's just kind of my theory on it now. I don't know what else to think because this has been happening. We had also the thing in Las Vegas last year, some ship crash in someone's backyard. I don't know if you heard about that. They were also 8 to 10 foot tall. These were 8 to 10 foot tall. The ones allegedly at the Miami Mall were 8 to 10 foot tall. It just seems very bizarre. You keep having these stories right after they did, that hearing with our representatives talking about UFOs are real, and then all of a sudden these things keep happening afterwards. So it's very interesting. I mean, obviously, at the same time, people can easily dismiss this. We got now AI, which can pretty much make fake videos of anything. So that you could easily make any excuse in the world not to believe any of it. You could also just believe whatever the media tells you, which I don't think is probably wise either. But I mean, they could also just tell you whatever you want to hear as well. So, and we've seen kind of their track record over the last few years, not very good. Say a lot of things that end up being not true in the end. So it's just kind of interesting how this keeps happening. It would be great if there's just one guy there with the iPhone and he could zoom in and full resolution or something. You know what I mean? That it seems to never happen though. It's always grainy footage or something, right? So
yeah, okay. So a combination of that, and then also, if you think, okay, so if there are aliens. So if there's, intelligent life not originating from Earth, okay, then for them to get here, they'd have to be really smart. They'd have to have some technology that would be way beyond our technology, because that's the only way that you could get here. And then they would know where everybody is. I mean, you don't think that they have technology to know that if you land at the Miami Mall, that like everybody's going to see you? So it seems to me like they would intentionally not do that. That they would. So if there are aliens, it seems to me that we would never see any evidence of them anywhere.
Well, here's the thing. Have you heard the quote from William Shatner from Star Trek? You know, the old Star Trek, William Shatner. He
Yeah.
says, why would aliens fly millions of light years to come here, then hide for 50 years? Does that even make any sense? Maybe they didn't come from another planet. Maybe they're here all the whole time, and maybe they came from another dimension, and maybe they're not. Maybe they're devils. Who knows what they are, man? Maybe it's just humans pretending, or maybe some. Who knows
Well,
what it is? But
the humans pretending, and or I mean something from a different dimension. So maybe something spiritual. Okay, we'll say that seems way more likely and plausible than, okay, you came from light years away, you have ridiculous technology, and so the way that you utilize your technology is by abducting random people
it doesn't make
and
sense.
probing them and probing them and doing all of this crazy stuff. I'm not saying that stuff didn't happen to people. I'm saying I don't think it was aliens that was doing that. And I don't know. It just it seems to me like if I was
light years just to hide and do weird stuff,
Yeah, and actually, but the thing, but here's the thing to me. Here's the thing. It's not okay. So this thing about hiding. If there are aliens here, they're not doing a very good job of hiding. You understand what I'm saying? Because if this stuff that we're seeing actually is aliens, then they suck. They suck at hiding. So my thing is, they would either be here and actually hide, and we would never see them because their technology is better, whatever, or this stuff is just totally false. It's a way for the government or for whatever else it is to actually take advantage, to exploit, to do whatever they're doing.
And, especially the mall one. That seems a little bit of a big screw up for some advanced aliens. But yeah, I think there would be random occasions where someone might see something flying around or whatever. I mean, you can't hide forever everywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
oh no, but here's my point though.
I don't think they're coming from another galaxy to come here to hide, anyways. But it just sounds dumb.
Well, okay, so that's a good point. Why would you do that? But the second point is, I think, still is valid. If you are coming here with the intention of hiding, you're doing a bad job of hiding. And aren't you smart enough? I mean, with your great technology and all this other stuff that's happening, you're doing a terrible job of hiding. So I just think
one of them got drunk and then just kind of get in.
Right.
Went to the Miami Mall, like, oh shit, man, I screwed up, damn. And then then freaked out the whole city, and 200 cops showed up. It's kind of like the Beavis and Butthead of aliens, just in the really low IQ one that just screwed up or something. I don't know.
Right. Something, man. It's just silly. Whole thing silly. But another thing, we were talking about earlier,
getting the real news here, folks. Drunk aliens at the mall.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's what it was. So we were talking about the Epstein list thing, and this is going to blow the top off and like this, and then of course nothing happens. We get the same information that we already knew, and of course we're never going to get that blackmail list. That's never going to happen, because that's how you use a blackmail list. You don't tell people, and you only use it when you need to. That's how you actually use the power.
I'm wondering about, like, you've seen all these movies about serial, killers and that. They love to always hide a piece, like leave a piece of evidence that they carefully left there, because they get it. They love it when someone sees their work. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like they almost want it to be kind of revealed, but they don't really want it fully revealed, so that they can kind of like, oh yeah, I love this. Like they're that mind. They're like some sort of crazy person. You know what I mean? And they just
Yep.
get jollies off it or something. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, and then they don't ever want us to really see it, but perhaps it will get out anyways. Well, I guess we'll find out, right?
And then it's like, and then like in this supposed huge data dump, it's a bunch of like redacted stuff, man. It's like you can't even see what this stuff is. It's just, it's always the same. It's always the same crap, man.
Redacted, except for like, our former president's name and a couple of people we already know. And of course, he was there. He was doing all of it. He was with all the girls. We don't have any proof, but of course he was. So Biden wasn't there. Of course not. Never. He would never do that.
That's right.
Goodness gracious, dude. No, our wonderful Prez. He's the best moral example in the world, folks. He's great. He's a good guy, man. I love every decision he makes. I love it when he says we have lots of good jobs and no inflation. It's pretty cool.
Well, let me say something. Let me say something about Jim Crow Joe.
Maybe he's an alien, dude. How do you? I mean, you ever see that movie They Live? They Live, man. They're all hiding in human suits. You never know, right?
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you a little bit something about Jim Crow Joe. See, I don't actually think he's a bad guy. So let me explain what I mean. Okay.
Okay.
I think he's totally incompetent at this point. And okay, that's fine. But I don't think he's a bad guy. And actually, honestly, I think he's probably a sincere guy. He probably actually believes in the stuff that he does. Whatever. I don't think he's necessarily like, he's not like secret clubs.
I'm waiting for the punchline here, man. What are you going to say? You going to say something? You're not honestly thinking this, right?
I'm just saying. I don't know that he's in like secret clubs or anything like this. Well, whatever. Other than the ones that we know that he's in. Okay, whatever. I just think that he's wrong and he's incompetent, and the whole just that whole political agenda is just fatally flawed. I think that's the primary issue. And
I think he's like the worst ever, man. Like I actually wonder if there is a worse one in the past. I kind of wonder.
I think he's I think he's pretty terrible at being president. And I think that the philosophies of the people that are around him are really toxic and poisonous to the country. I totally agree with that. I just don't.
Maybe he's not fully there anymore, man. Maybe he's just not all there, and they're just kind of leading him around, and then they're like running it in the background while he's just like kind of drooling in the corner, like, "Oh, it's time for your food." Oh, okay, and just like eats, and I don't know, man. Like I've seen him sometimes. He looks like he's just gone. Like there's nothing in the eyes sometimes,
Yeah, like everybody is like putting messages like he is a bad guy. He's rotten to the core. They're putting stuff like this in the chat. Look, I don't necessarily have to.
Just pull the guy out of a retirement home. We should feel sorry for him. He's not all there. You know what I mean? I'm not joking. I think he's bad too. I think it's like a bad dude that should be in a retirement home drooling right now. That's kind of how I look at him. But
I don't think. Okay, so check it out.
Maybe not. All maybe behind bars it might be better. But
look. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Okay. So everybody has sinned. Everybody's has tendencies to fail and to do wrong things in general. Okay, so let's put that out on the table. So nobody's a saint, everybody's a sinner. Okay, all right, we already got that out there. He's probably sinned a lot, and he's probably made a lot of decisions knowing that it probably was going to have certain consequences. That's fine. I don't know if that it's necessarily that much more than other folks. I just think he's not all there, and I think that the philosophies that he's going with are just terrible. I just think he's in trouble.
I can tell you from a business perspective, he's trying to cover up stuff left and right. Like they inflated the job numbers. They just went back and deleted 500,000 like after the fact. And then they
Look,
they
they're
keep
doing a
using
lot of
different,
stuff, man.
they're doing a lot of funny math to make things look good. It's just it's like lying to
Yeah.
you all the time and trying to make you, oh, everything's great. Don't worry about it, man. All great.
Yeah.
And it's not
pretty
great.
messed
It's
up.
terrible, man. Yeah. It's just sad to see that a state of our country is just such a pathetic look right now. It's just like, what's
Yeah,
going
somebody's
on?
asking me. Somebody's asking me. So they said, "How can you defend him at all?" People get testy.
No,
People get testy.
you gotta feel sorry. I feel sorry for him being an old fogey, but like in just not being there. But that's about it. And it only goes so far because I feel like he's been bad like he's barely corrupt and then just got old or something. So I don't really feel bad for him actually because even though he should
now
be
hold
doing
up. Somebody is telling me to prove them wrong. Let's see. Hold up. And prove them wrong because okay, so the assessment is he is a bad guy. He's rotten to the core. So then I'm supposed to prove him wrong. How can I prove you wrong?
Well, look, Sean,
Well,
I don't know. There's something you don't know. I'm going to tell you something interesting. One of the things that came out from that computer of his son's was that he had a nickname for his father. He called him Pedo, and then he called him Pete. That was his nickname for his father. Like, what kind of nickname is that, dude? That's like a messed up nickname.
What's his nickname? Say it again.
Pedo, and then Pete. That
That
was his nickname on his. That's what he called his dad, dude. Like, what kind of person calls his dad that, dude?
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Dude,
The
he's
reason
been in the tunnels. He's been in the UFOs. He's been in the tunnel. He's been everywhere, man. He just probably got zapped
he's
too many
doing
times.
something.
Can't remember anything. Yeah, he's been doing something.
Goodness.
I don't know if I want to look at that computer, man.
Yeah. Well. So here's the thing. I can separate people's decisions and some of their behaviors from them. You understand what I mean? Like, people make bad choices and they do wrong stuff and they listen to the wrong folks. Look, I'm just saying. Look, I'm not a Democrat, so I don't vote for Democrats. I have philosophical reasons not to vote for them. I don't need to like demonize a particular person.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even want to know more, but I almost just get this feeling like it's just really bad. I don't want to know more. It's just bad. Just get rid of him. Let's get a new guy in there. I'm done with this guy, man. He's terrible in every way, shape, and form.
Yeah,
whatever. You
it's
can put
pretty.
a monkey
It's
in
pretty
there.
crappy.
Put a monkey in there pushing random buttons would probably be right at least sometimes. I don't know.
Well, see, part of the so check it out. So part of the problem. Part of the problem is when we get into the hyper tribalism stuff. Like, this guy's on my team, so
yeah, I'm not.
He does
into
no
that
wrong.
anymore.
He's on their team, so he's
right.
Evil incarnate. Then that ends up you end up with some problems.
I got some
because
dirt now.
what were people doing when Trump was in office? They were like, "Oh, this guy's evil."
I got something about him a little bit.
Sure.
It's interesting, this whole tunnel thing. And I haven't verified any of this, so I could be wrong. Okay, I could be completely wrong. But this tunnel thing in New York City, apparently Jared Kushner, he's from the same sect. And if you understand this sect, they're into some really strange things. They like the number 666, for one. That Jared bought that building on, what was it, Fifth Avenue or something, 666 Fifth Avenue. So there's something really weird going on there. I don't know what it is, but that's Trump's son-in-law, man. And Trump's got some. I'm not saying Trump's no saint. I'm not saying that at all, man, because I don't think he is. I think he went through a lot of stuff himself. I don't know his history. But I'm guessing he's not a saint. He wasn't a saint the whole time. I'm sure that's not the case. But is he as rotten as the current guy in there? Probably not. Probably not. I'm just guessing. But I'm sure
Yeah,
there's a lot of bad stuff out there, and there's a lot of
they all
corruption.
suck.
Yeah.
They all suck, and yeah, I know this guy is pretty bad. I'm not trying to say that the guy is good. That wasn't the
But I
point.
thought it was really weird that this is the sect. Like, I don't know what to think. I don't even know if I want to look into it because I know they like the number 666, which I think is a little strange. You like that number, just a little weird. I mean, that's kind of evil if you'd ask me. That you like that number. It's so weird. Why would you be into that number? And apparently, it has something to do with they're looking for the Messiah, and they think it's tied to that number. I'm like, that's not the Messiah, dude. That's probably the Antichrist. You know?
Right.
Okay, you're looking at the wrong dude. Trust me. I guarantee you're looking at the wrong guy. Okay, that's
That's
just
funny.
one sect. There's a lot of different sects out, but this one's apparently into that stuff. So that might explain the tunnels. I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know if I want to know.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's all bogus. And Andre 416 is putting this thing lesser of two evils thing. The problem with the lesser of two evils issue is that you still end up promoting evil.
Well, we need
So if
God back. We need God in our country, man.
yeah,
We need this
so
evil. Just somehow get rid of all this evil at the top, and that includes the church, by the way, because I think the church is run by a bunch of not good people as well. I bet you there's a lot of skeletons in a lot of closets with a lot of these top dudes. I'm
yeah,
thinking Pope Francis, TD Jakes, all these guys are like. I'm serious. I really think there's a lot of bad stuff going on, and we need to get rid of all of it. Like the old saying, scum rises to the top, right? It's just
yep,
so weird how the wrong type of people end up in charge of a lot of stuff.
yep,
Almost like they want it, you know? And
yeah. Well,
so
they want it the most, so they find a way to get it.
if there's any hope for our country, we need to get rid of all this really evil stuff going on and the leadership everywhere, pretty much, including the church. And then that might do it. I think that would probably solve a lot of things right there. So
Yeah, so yeah, this he's going hard. He's going hard in the paint. Another
Mhm.
user is going hard in the paint. He's asking me to explain that this isn't evil. Look,
what
I'm not going to be explaining how something's good or evil.
No, you're not saying he's not done evil. You're just saying that everyone does evil, and you're just saying he's not like you don't think he's evil incarnate is what you're saying basically.
Yeah, what I'm saying is I think it's problematic to put all of our ire on one person
Yeah. I
because
think that's not good. Yeah,
when that person gets out of office, see the thing
right.
is you still have all of
The devil's still
the
there.
ideologies, and the people that were doing his bidding, they're still
Right.
there.
It's not him. It's not him. It's all the people behind him. It's just like with Kim
And
Jong
that's my
Un.
point. That's exactly my point.
Same with
It's
Kim
the
Jong Un.
machine.
Yeah,
It's the
like North
machine.
Korea. If they
Yeah.
get rid of Kim Jong Un, like if Kim Jong Un doesn't follow the program, he's going to be dead, and they'll replace him with someone else, maybe a fake Kim Jong Un or something. It's all the
Yeah.
people behind the leader that's controlling everything, and like I think Kim Jong Un's probably scared for his life. He has to do what they say, or and it's probably the same with the current prez. I'm thinking he's probably got to do what they tell him, or he's gone. It's one of those
Yeah.
things. That's just my thoughts on it, but
Yeah.
evil's still there, and it's still the devil. In the
Yep.
end, it's still evil. But yeah, a press is not going to solve our country's problems. I can guarantee you that.
Yep.
All right, we got so
You
many
still
problems
end up
right now. You
well,
need God, divine
you still end
intervention
up with
here,
the same
man.
issues. You still end
Yeah,
up with the same issues. It's a different person.
you're going slower to hell. You're going to hell in a handbasket slower or something. Maybe a little slower. He'll be slowing it down. Like he'll be getting like, slowing it down a little bit. We're not going to hell as fast. But I think if you just wipe all the evil out, like over everything, that would, if there was like some way that could happen, that would solve a lot. Because a lot of people's eyes would be open. Oh, they were doing all this, and then those people are gone, and you get some real good leadership in there. Which, if that's even possible, it sounds impossible these days. But if you could do that, then that would really solve a lot. So
Well, hey, and another user, I hope you do realize that you're being trolled. you are being trolled a little bit here.
Sean's
so
trolling you, man.
yeah, you're being trolled a little bit, but
master.
yeah, you're being trolled a little bit, but chill out.
No, it's good, man. This is like the old
don't
days.
get blocked now.
This is like the old news days where they like you have the one guy on the one side and the other guy on the other side, and they just argue and fight. That's how Fox News got big. Was they just have two people arguing all the time? No, I'm right. You're right. No, I'm right. No, you're wrong. It's the left-right thing, which I don't think really solves a lot these days, especially with all the bought-out people up there, rhinos and stuff, and other bought-out people everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
it's
getting
crazy.
trolled. Another user, you're getting trolled. Just chill out. We're likely on the same team.
I'm on team.
Okay,
I'm
clown
on the
show.
winning team.
All right, I
Team
told
winning.
you to chill out. You didn't chill out. Now you're blocked.
Oh my goodness. We got a blocked person, man.
Well, I'll put him in for 30 minutes, and that's got rid of all your comments. Now you can't make any comments. I tried to tell you to chill out. You didn't.
I didn't even see
do
what
it.
he was saying.
It's okay.
I didn't look.
It's cool. We'll probably, like I said, we probably more or less would be somewhat on the same team, but you got to have it the way you want it to be said. See, that's the problem.
He's like,
So,
okay, got you.
So anyhow, I think that's good for the show today.
That was
I
long.
am
We were on here
exhausted.
for a while,
I'm
yeah.
coming down with a cold. I need to take some medicine, and I need to hit the sack. So so I think we'll be back next week with another show. Our show will be closer to 10:30 probably next week. But like, share, comment, subscribe, become a channel member where you get access to all archived videos. Support independent media. Super chats enabled. Super thanks for the Replay Gang, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Dr. Thunder, Music. All one word, spell out the word doctor. And if you'd like to feed me sandwiches, hit the Cash App Sandwich Gang. And that's going to be our time. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making time for us. And we're going to keep it interesting. And as soon as the show is over, we can put our tinfoil hats back on where they will remain until the next episode next week, because we want to be able to get the proper messaging from the
aliens,
Miami aliens.
Yeah, exactly, man. Gotta get that. Gotta get their ideas for the next video. So
that's right. All right, that's our time. See y'all later. Peace.
All right, see you guys.